Hello everyone, it's Frances with String Into a Thing. Thank you so much for taking your time to spend with me today. I'm going to be teaching you how to make this super simple granny square bandana, and it works up in really just 30 minutes. And we start right here and we just make a little triangle, and then we build up the rounds, and we can go as long or as short as we want, and then we make these cute little straps at the end. Oh my goodness, it's so easy. You are just going to surprise yourself with this one. The supplies I'll be using to create this super simple granny square bandana will be the I Love This Yarn cute little skein right here. We're not going to use the whole thing, I'm sure, and it's just a little bit thinner of yarn, so I thought it might kind of move around a little bit less stiff than your traditional yarn here. And you can follow the instructions on here and choose the hook size that you want. I'll be using one slightly smaller. If you wanted to make it tighter, you can go down a hook size. If you want to make it looser, you can go up a hook size, or you can just match it. I've got a 5mm right here, a darning needle, and then some simple scissors. Perfect. So I am going to be starting out with the magic ring, which is really easy, but if you're totally new and you want to have a kind of a beginner's look in on things, I do have a beginner's playlist right here that you can check out. But right here, this is something you can do. I've got my skein ready to go, and I'm going to position this tail facing me and my hands upward. I'm going to just do a little X right here, twisting my hand over. I went right over the other string. I'm going to get my hook, go under the first string, and on top of the second, bring it through the loop and kind of twist my hook upward like this. Now this orange one right here where my pinky is, that is the working yarn. So I'm actually, while that hook is looped, I'm going to grab the working yarn right here and then pull it through for a chain one. Now we can do that again one more time. This is super cool. It makes the project so super easy. My hand facing upward, tail facing me, grabbing the working yarn that's coming from the skein, going around, making a little X, using my pinky to kind of hold that down, going under the first string, over the second, pulling that guy through and twisting him. Okay, so we got like a little loop on there. Now this is the working yarn right here. I'm gonna kind of takes a little bit funny coordination practice here. Grabbing that working yarn and pulling him through for a chain one, and you'll notice it's kind of hanging out. So I'm just going to untangle it, and now we have our magic ring. So I'm grabbing the working yarn and just letting that tail drop. Okay, so you see how I can actually pull the tail now and tighten that little center circle? We're going to be working into that circle right there. How fun. Okay, so I got chain one on there. I'm going to chain 3 more. 1, just by yarning over. 2, yarning over, pulling through. And 3. So now I have a total of 4 chains on there. Now this first little section here, that 3 chain is going to act like a double crochet. And then that last chain, that 4th one, is just going to act like a chain space. So I'm totally prepared to do my first cluster of 3 double crochet. We're going to create a cute little triangle, and we're going to continue building off of it. So I'm going to yarn over here. And then from here, I'm going to directly insert into the circle. Yarn over, pull through. I have 3 loops on my hook now. I'm going to yarn over again, pull through 2 only. Now I got 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through the last 2. That is a double crochet right there. And again, the beginner series goes in really nice slow detail for you. Let's do it again, 2 more to make a 3 cluster. Yarning over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Easy. You can do this. Let's go again. And if that little circle's a little bit too big for you, you can always pull that string to kind of grab a hold of it a little bit better. So you can make the circle a little tinier. That way you can feel like you can manipulate it a bit better. Now we're making a cute little triangle. Right after you finish that 3 cluster of your 3 double crochet, let's chain 2. From here we're going to do a cluster of 3 double crochet again. Super easy. This works up super quick, and they're adorable. Oh my goodness. I love it. Here we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now in order to kind of look like the other side, let's go ahead and chain 1 and then put 1 more double crochet right there. And now it's kind of mirroring the other side. So if I turn this around, you can kind of see the triangular shape coming in. Now, always at this little tippity corner is the top of our triangle. We're going to be always doing a cluster of 3, chain 2, cluster of 3 in the same opening every time we come back to it. So it's pretty cool. Now that we're at the end of that, I'm going to get myself a little bit more yarn here, and then I'm going to chain 4. Now from here, I'm going to turn my work, so I'm just going to basically take the tip and put it up now. And I'm going to do 3 double crochet right in this first space right here. So this is the tippity top, this is the side we're at. Let's do a cluster of 3 double crochet right there. Staying nice and relaxed, let that yarn just slide through your finger here. And there we have it. So now we're on the side of it. So let's go ahead and chain 1 right now. And again, working straight into there, 3 double crochet. And because it's our tippity corner, chain 2. And into the same exact space that we're working in right now, 3 more double crochet. Perfect. To end it, before we go into the next one, let's chain 1. And then we're going to hop into this last space right here. See that very last space? Easy. 3 double crochet right there too, to kind of make it look like the other side. Then, again, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet to end that little round right there. Now it looks similar to the other side again. See how we have these 2 little spaces? Cluster, cluster, and the corner tip, top of that cute little triangle. Oh my goodness, it's coming together. So from here again, chain 4 at the end of that row, and we're going to continue doing this. 2, 3, 4, turning our work, which I'm just going to position my guy up like this, and I'm going to be ready to go. And right in that first space again, 3 double crochet, and every side piece you do, you only chain 1 in between the clusters. So right after I finish this cluster, I'm going to chain 1 before I go to my next side piece. So the sides get longer and longer and longer, and you can go as long or as short as you want to make it. This is your art. You can make it any way you want. And that's the beauty of it. You are doing fantastic. Let's do another cluster of 3 and chain 1 before we get to that tippity top. Right here in the corner, you guessed it, right in that tippity top corner, cluster of 3, chain 2, and a cluster of 3. You're getting the hang of this same thing each time. It's just so relaxing, isn't it? You are awesome. Let's do 1 more row together, and then I'm going to just kind of take off on my own little creative journey here and allow myself to go and continue until I feel like I should stop. So at the end of that cluster again, now we're reaching the side, so we got chain 1 at the end of that tippity top corner. And cluster of 3. Chain 1 again. Cluster of 3 right here. And to complete it, chain 1 and 1 more double crochet. So it looks like the other side, nice and even. Look at us. Look at us go. Look how much we've done so far. Right at the end of that, chain 4. Turn. And cluster of 3. That's simple. Chain 1 to end it before you go to the next side piece to finish off that cluster. Still on the side, so I'm going to chain 1 before I go to my next side. And this will start to make more sense as you practice. Same pattern. Chain 1 at the end of it. Here we are at the tippity corner, right there. Cluster of 3. Chain 2. Cluster of 3. Perfect. Chain 1 before I go into the sides and repeat. Chaining 1 after that cluster as well in that last little space right there on the corner, bottom corner. So this is our bottom edge and this is the tip, top. Perfect. Cluster of 3. Chain 1 and 1 more double crochet to finish that off. And chain 4 to go to the next round. Amazing. I'm going to keep working it up. This is so fun, and you can also, your little tail right there in the beginning of that magic ring, you can tighten your little area there. Kind of bring it in. Everything is looking super cute. I love it. I've just been building up on my rows, and I'm chaining 4 right now before I turn my work. And then just remember to go into that first opening with 3 double crochets. You can see it now that your sides are getting bigger, and every time you do a cluster of 3 on the sides, you just chain 1 before you go to your next cluster. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and into the side again, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Now you do chain 1 also right before you go into that cluster of 3 with the chain 2 in the very tippity top corner. Once you get up here, and you just repeat the same thing until it's at the desired size that you want. Isn't this just so super easy? Anyone can do this, especially you. Right here at the corner again, I just chain 1 to finish off that side cluster. Three double crochet. And for that tippity corner, chain 2. 3 double crochet in the same spot right there in the corner tip. Same opening as the one that we're working in right now. So every top corner is going to have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same opening, and then for the sides you just do it normal. Chain 1 in between. So I'm going to chain 1 now before I begin the side. When you're done right here and you reach the bottom corner of your triangle, again, when you finish that cluster, chain 1 before you go in the last one right here, 3 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 more double crochet, and then chain 4 to begin your next row. It's coming along. I love it. All right, so I've just worked it up really for just about 20 minutes, and now I'm at the length that I want. So I believe I did 12 rows, so this is where we started right down here, and I just counted my double crochet clusters, and I have 12 of them going up. So now I want to begin the fantastic little strap we're going to make. So you can really chain as many or as few of these as you want, but I think a nice balanced length would be 35 chains. So if you wanted to chain that many, great. So I'm just going to chain 35, 2, 3, 4, 5, 33, 34, and 35. Wonderful. Now you can keep it this thin if you want and tie off and start again on your other corner if you wanted to do a separate string, but I like the no extra string hanging off situation, so I'm just gonna actually create a single crochet all the way down and at the bottom part of the bandana all the way to the other side, just so I have only a couple strings to weave in at the end. Is that lazy or efficient? I'm not entirely sure. So right here, I'm gonna go into the second chain from the hook, so it's not this loop or the first chain, but the second one right here. I'm just gonna insert and pull up a loop 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both. And that's a single crochet right there. Now I'm going to do this all the way down the chain here, and you'll notice that this big opening is the one we just worked in. So I'm going to insert into the next to begin the next single crochet. Just like that. Easy. Absolutely easy. We're just making this little guy a bit thicker as well, because he's a little bit of a thin strap there. But again, these crochet art projects are your project, your art. You do it your way. I'm just here to show you the basic concept, and then you can really fly away with any design it is that you want. And switch up the yarns, try different thin yarn, thick yarn. Just totally make it your own. Highly encouraged to experiment. Look at this. I love the variegated yarn just because it keeps it so entertaining as I go. I'm going to go ahead and turn my rectangle. This is not a rectangle. I'm going to turn my triangle like this, where I have that long part of the triangle, that nice straight side. So the peak is over here. I'm on this side, and I'm just completing this nice first strap. I have one more little chain to go through, single crochet. And then you'll notice we have these little spaces here, all along the bottom. Now we're just going to do single crochets right inside there. So I'm just going to insert in that big opening there. 3 in each space. 1, 2, and 3. If you want to kind of straighten out your little clusters there. Now we're doing 3 clusters in each little space of single crochet. Insert, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do that 3 times in each of these openings. All the way down until we get to the other side. And then we'll begin our next strap. Easy. And even when you get right here where we started, we're still going to do 3 single crochets and 3 single crochets and continue all the way to the end. Same thing. So this is where we started right here. And if you want, you can even hold this string behind you. You could even make it just a bit shorter. And then just hold it as you go along. Right in the back. So we don't have to weave that little guy in there. And crocheting him in. You can give him a little tug every now and then. And stretch your piece out. And then give him a little snip later. I'm finishing up my very last single crochet right there into that long side of the triangle. We're working on our straps right here. I've worked all the way down. And now I'm going to chain 35 right after that last single crochet. And 35. Wonderful. Now I'm going to actually rotate my work like this. Giving it a nice little spin there, and I am going to work down here all the way to the base. Again, just like we did before. Inserting the second chain from the hook and doing a single crochet all the way down. Now because this is a, single project where everything's staying together on one string without having to tie off and begin again, this strap is the reverse of the strap before. And that's totally okay with me, but if it bothers you at all, you can always start fresh and, do your own little situation there. So now I've made it to the very end of my chain, and I'm going to just kind of insert in this next little area here. And I'm going to do a slip stitch by just yarning over, pulling through, and then twisting my guy and pulling through again for that last little piece there. And then I'm going to chain and then secure it off. Let me get some scissors here. About 4 inches or so of a little tail left. Pull through and tighten. Now I've got both little straps on here. How cute. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get my wonderful little tapestry needle here. and then make a little loop to get this guy in here so we can tuck him away. Once you've got your little guy in there, you can kind of turn your piece around and shove him in anywhere you think he should be. Kind of just tuck him away. I'm going to go one direction. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction afterward. Kind of flatten out my piece there, and then guide him to go a different direction. And you can go between the plies of the yarn too. I know this is tedious, but oh my goodness, it helps it hold together better. And there you have it, right there. I'm going to unbunch it a little bit. Go ahead and get out my scissors and very carefully snip, because we don't want to snip the yarn that we just took so much time to make, our project. And there it is. Oh my goodness, don't forget this little string back here that we tied in earlier. Bingo. This is just so cute. I can't even believe it. You can make it any size, any shape. Tie it up, wear it on your head, wear it around your neck even. And there it is. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Oh my gosh, if you enjoyed this tutorial and you maybe want to make a scarf or even a baby headband, you can go ahead and check out the class next. And it was truly my pleasure to be here and teach you what I know. Thank you everyone. Bye.